Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I should have put a jump scare at the beginning of this video. You join me with my eye patches on, my brows and nothing else because I am doing an eyeshadow bingo. Yet again, I only did the first one of these like 3 weeks ago and I am obsessed. I'm just so excited to film an eyeshadow bingo with like all of my collection, because I think it's just such a great way to use colours in a different way in palettes that I love. And that's exactly what we are doing today. I am going to be completely randomising through an app on my phone a colour selection from the Cosmic Brushes Serenity palette. This is one of my, I think I ranked this at number 2 out of all of my Cosmic Brushes palettes, and this is what the colour story looks like. So there are so many different ways that this could go, so many different ways that we could end up looking. We could go very purple, we could go very green, we could go a mix of the two. I love purple and green together, so I'm not mad if that happens. But this could be wild. If you didn't see, I posted last week, I do believe, I posted a video where I was doing a eyeshadow palette bingo with Delicious Delights. That went a certain way. If you watch to the end of that video, you will know what I mean. But I'm very, very excited to be getting into Serenity today. If you want to see more eyeshadow bingo videos from Little Old Me, you can subscribe down below. I will be doing more of these going forwards, and if there are any palettes in particular that you would like to see, then be sure to let me know down below and I will get on those as soon as possible. But let me get up the app. I have put all of the names of the eyeshadows into tiny decisions and we are just going to randomise 5 eyeshadow choices. I will swatch them on my hand and then we will create some sort of hopefully quite autumnal look. I do have some other videos I want to film today, but I need quite an autumnal look if I'm gonna do those. So let's just wait and see. I will choose 5 eyeshadows. So the first choice is going to be Earth, which is one of my favourite shades. It's like a mossy green, beautiful, like, I was about to say earthy, like neutral matte shade. And if you saw my video from the other day from Delicious Delights, you will know I got a shade nowhere near as deep as this. So we're already on a great track there. So number 2, Opal. So we've got a shimmer, good. Then number 3 is going to be Twilight. Where is, oh, okay, so we've got another shimmer, but this is a dark bluey purple shimmer. Okay, I can make that work. Then choice number 4, we have got Odyssey. Okay, another shimmer. Okay, another shimmer. This time a gold. I'm starting to worry now. So for choice number 5, please be another matte. Please, please. River. We've got a matte. Fantastic news. Okay, so we're going very dark today. Okay, so this is the colour story that we are working with today. We have got Earth, Opal, Twilight, Odyssey and River. So these 2 are the only mattes, and then the 3 in the middle are all shimmers. As you can see, the shift on that opal shade is quite incredible. I do feel like the shimmer is quite subtle on that Twilight shade. Like, it's not as reflective as the other 2. I don't know how gold is gonna mix in with all of this. let's just start. I already have my eye primer on. I used the P. Louise one today, and I think I'm just going to start with a really big fluffy brush and really like buff out that earth shade to try and get something quite light and transition-y. So like I say, big fluffy brush, and I'm literally just gonna go the tiniest little bit, because otherwise that's going to be too dark for a transition, and that's literally like, I can't use River as a transition, so I'm scared. I'm scared. Okay, very pigmented. And as always, when it comes to me, I have got absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Like in terms of technique, in terms of what I want the end look to look like, no idea. I'm probably gonna, I don't want to think too far ahead. I want to like see how this is actually going to blend out and build up. I do feel like I'm managing to get a nice sheer wash of that like warm greeny sort of olivey colour, but I'm having to like dip into the pan and then properly like stamp the brush off on the side of the packaging to like properly disperse that colour to get the tiniest little bit, so that it doesn't end up going too dark in the first step. So I think that is going fairly well. Like, I would have liked perhaps a lighter matte shade, but the app chose what it wanted. So I'm going to take a much smaller sort of tapered brush. Again, I'm just going to wipe that off on a bit of tissue. You know the drill. You know the drill. And I'm going to go into that River shade, and again I'm taking the tiniest little bit and I'm going to add that onto the outer corner. I do feel like I'm gonna have to add these shimmers like right across the lid. Obviously opal can be like an inner corner, but I love this River shade. You know me in a teal. And this is beautiful. I'm just going to go back in with that first brush to try and like sort of muddle those two shades together in the crease a little bit. I do like this River shade, but again, I just wish I had more of a transition tone. Like, we're already quite dark. A very, very stark contrast to the problem that I was having the other day where everything was very light. I'm just never happy, okay? I'm just never happy. Okay, so it's literally been like 15 minutes of me packing on a little bit of that River shade and then blending it out with the big brush, adding a little bit more of the earth shade, and again basically taking all of that product off and then buffing over the top edge. I feel like I am happy with how that looks. Would never choose those two colours as like my only matte shades, but I'm going to take Twilight, that bluey shimmer, because I feel like that on the outer half should blend in fairly well with that River shade on the outer corner. I do feel like this is more purple. It should blend. Should being the word there. So then just taking that small brush, and I feel like if I buff over this enough, it will sort of buff away that shimmer but leave a bit of the colour. Or that's what I'm hoping anyway. Because I feel like the gold shimmer on the lid needs to blend into something. So let's see. I'm not hopeful. Are you? Are you hopeful? I am currently not. Not loving it. Not loving it. I'm just going to take a bit of that gold shimmer, which is beautiful. Like, it is properly foily. And I'm going to press that on the... Yeah. I'm going to press that on the inner sort of half of the lid. I probably have enough there for both eyes. I mean, blue and gold are a lovely colour combination. I'm just not... Well, firstly, I'm not sure how I'm meant to incorporate that opal shade. And secondly, I'm not sure that I would recreate this look without, basically without a transition tone. I do feel like if I drag that further out across the lid, we could maybe lighten this a bit. I am just taking a tiny bit more of that river shade, that blue matte. I feel like if I intensify that crease a little bit more. Yeah. Do I know what I'm doing? I've already told you I have no idea, but I do love that river shade, so let's wiggle a little bit more of that in. Why not? I do feel like we have completely lost that twilight shade. Never mind. You saw me put that on there. It is there. It's under there somewhere. Is it adding anything to the party? No. So I'm going to take these off. I'm going to clean up, probably sharpen up, probably add a wing. I'm going to do the rest of my face. Oh, I might add that blue wing, that new Made by Mitchell one that I just recently got. I've just done that though. I might do something different. I'm going to clean up, I'm going to do the rest of my face, and then we can add that opal shade right onto the inner corner, and also decide what I want to do under the eyes. I might put that like mossy green shade under the eyes so you can see it a little bit more. I do feel like that is potentially a little bit lost in that blend, but also it's very dark. So I'm gonna go off, do the rest of my face, and then we can come back and finish that all up together. I just put my blush brush down and there was a bit of eyeliner on the table. Is it actually possible for me to get through a video where I do an eyeshadow palette bingo without getting something that isn't meant to be on my face on my face? It was mascara in my last video, and now look, I got that little bit of dried up eyeliner and it's on my blush brush. I should have taken that as my sign that I had enough blush on, but I didn't. I'm just going to put a little bit of powder on, looking a bit shiny, and then we can do the under eyes. I do think I'm going to use that fair shade that we picked because I really don't feel like you can see it on the lid, like with all of that blend that I was doing. So just a bit of powder first. It is also like autumn weather. It's so grey outside, so if the lighting isn't quite right, You know why. I'm just going to take that first little tapered brush and I'm going to dip into Earth, but again, the tiniest amount, and I'm stamping that off on the side of the packaging as well so that I don't get too much. And I'm just going to run that all the way along under the eyes. I do like a smoky under eye, so happy to add quite a bit and like blend it out quite a bit, and then I want to put that opal shade right on the inner corner, and honestly I think that that will be it. I am also just sort of joining that up with all of those colours on that outer corner. Round the wing, obviously I ended up adding a black wing. I didn't want to use the same product that I literally used in the video that you saw like 3 days ago. So now I need a brush for a bit of primer on the inner corner. So I'm actually going to take a Cosmic Brushes brush. I really like these brushes. This is the CB5. It's a tiny little pencil brush, and I'm just going to add a bit of primer, that same P. Louise one. Just gonna add that right onto that inner corner so that that opal shade has something sticky to grip to. So I'm just tapping that in ever so slightly. I don't want to like disperse it too far, and then I'm just wiping off a brush on a little bit more toilet roll. And this is the CB4, which is like a tapered sort of brush. Really love this shaped brush as well, and I'm dipping into that opal shade, and I'm really gonna like load that up quite a bit and tap that right onto that tacky primer. And I'm almost gonna like blend that opal shade. What I like to do with my inner corner, what I like to do with an inner corner sort of highlight shade when it's this sort of shifty, catching the light sort of a shade, I like pack it onto the inner corner like so, like you'd normally would, and then when there's less on the brush, I sort of drag it up through the inner part of the crease, because then I feel like it brightens all in sort of this area, and you also get more of that shifty. I love that shade. Is this how I thought this look was going to end up? Absolutely not. Honestly, I might just put that opal shade over everything. Just a little dust of that over all of those shimmers. I feel like that opal shade just makes everything better. So I'm just going to put a bit of mascara. I was using the Essence Lash Like a Boss mascara. Just going to tap a little bit of that over the lower lashes, more carefully than my last eyeshadow bingo. If you know, you know. There we go. I mean, I said this with the eyeshadow bingo that I filmed with Delicious Delights as well, but when I chose these colours, I didn't think I would get a look that I would enjoy. Now granted, this is a lot more wearable, and I'm doing that in air quotes because the Delicious Delights look that I did, I literally did like a cut crease with a white liner. I did the whole thing. This, I would wear this out just for a casual day. Honestly, I love these colours. Yeah, granted, I feel like it would have been easier to get to this point if I had more of a transition tone. I feel like I basically could have done without this shade and this shade. I could have basically made this whole look just with the other three and maybe a bit of bronzer, but I love how this has turned out. Yay! So I would love to hear what you think of this look down below. My camera is flashing at me, so I'm going to make this short. If you are new here, I would love it if you would subscribe down below, and if you haven't already, please give this video a big thumbs up. But until next time, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.